Right now, somewhere in your body, a feeling is being labeled. Your heart is doing something, your stomach is doing something, and your mind is reaching for the nearest explanation. We do this constantly. We feel first, and then we name it. And most of the time, we trust that the name we choose is correct. But there is one feeling most of us have mislabeled our entire lives. And the consequences of that mislabeling show up in the exact relationships we cannot seem to leave, and the calm ones we cannot seem to stay in. The feeling is what we call chemistry. That overwhelming can't stop thinking about them pull towards someone new. And here is what no one told you. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between that feeling and a warning. You know the moment. You meet someone, and something shifts. Your heart rate goes up. There is a tightness in your chest, a lightness in your stomach. Your thoughts start reorganizing around this person. You replay the conversation. You notice what they said and what they didn't. You check your phone more than usual. We call this butterflies. We call it a spark. We treat it as evidence. And why wouldn't we? Everything in the culture confirms it. The racing heart means something real is happening. The obsessive thoughts mean this person matters. The intensity is the proof. But now think about a different moment. A presentation you were not ready for. A phone call you were dreading. The minutes before something you could not control. Racing heart, tight chest, stomach unsettled, thoughts looping on a single uncertain outcome. The sensations are not similar, they are the same. What was never explained is why. And without that explanation, most of us kept choosing the signal without knowing what it was actually signaling. The mechanism is called misattribution of arousal. The researcher is Stanley Schachter. In 1962, working with Jerome Singer at Columbia University, Schachter proposed that emotion is not just a physical state. It is a physical state plus a label. The body produces arousal. The mind looks around for the most available explanation, and it labels accordingly. The study that made this undeniable came a decade later. In 1974, psychologists Donald Dutton and Arthur Aaron ran an experiment on two bridges over the Capilano River in British Columbia. One bridge was wide, solid, close to the ground. The other was a narrow suspension bridge, swaying over a canyon 230 feet deep. A researcher approached men on both bridges. She asked them to complete a brief questionnaire, then gave each man her phone number in case he had questions about the study. What Dutton and Aaron expected was a modest difference. What they found was this: men on the high, unstable bridge were significantly more likely to call her, and the content of their questionnaire responses showed more romantic and sexual imagery than those on the low bridge. The bridge had nothing to do with her, but the adrenaline from the bridge did not disappear when she appeared. The brain took that existing arousal and attached it to the most available target. Fear became attraction. The alarm became a spark. The study does not claim this happens every time. It shows that it can happen, that arousal is transferable, that the label we give a feeling depends heavily on context, not just content. This is not an abstract lab finding. It is running in you right now. Think about the first time you met someone in a high-stakes social moment. A party where you felt slightly out of place. An event where you were already nervous before they walked in. The activation was already present. They arrived into an already primed system, and something that started as ambient anxiety crystallized around a face. That is misattribution of arousal operating in ordinary life. Now think about a different pattern. Someone who is inconsistent. Warm one day, distant the next. You spend the in-between in a low-level state of vigilance, and when they return, the relief feels enormous, almost chemical. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz's research on dopamine shows that the reward chemical fires most powerfully, not when we receive something good, but in anticipation of an uncertain reward. Slot machines work this way. So do inconsistent people. The unpredictability is not a flaw in the connection. It is the engine of the craving. And the craving feels indistinguishable from wanting. Now think about a calm person, someone reliable, present, consistent. The nervous system has no alarm to process, no uncertainty to resolve. And so the mind, trained to read activation as meaning, looks at that stillness and sometimes concludes, nothing is happening here. The stability gets labeled boring, not because it is, but because it is quiet. Here is where something older than neuroscience had already arrived at this. Contemplative traditions across cultures drew a distinction between two states that look identical from the outside. One they called desire. The other they called longing, rooted in incompleteness. Both feel urgent. Both feel like they are pointing towards something real. But one moves you toward genuine contact with another person. The other moves you toward resolution of your own inner state, using another person as the instrument. They said, "Notice what you are actually hungry for." What Schachter and Dutton and Aaron found in the laboratory is a physiological account of the same distinction. The body produces arousal. The mind needs an explanation, and it will borrow one from whatever is present. The tradition said, the feeling is real. What it is pointing to may not be what you think. The science said, arousal is accurate. Attribution is where the error enters. Neither is saying the feeling is wrong. Both are saying the label requires examination. So here is how you use this. The practice is not about suppressing the feeling. It is about creating a small gap between the feeling and the label. When you notice high activation around someone new, the heart rate, the stomach, the looping thoughts, before you reach for the word chemistry, ask one question. Where was I before they arrived? Was the activation already present? Were you anxious about the evening, uncertain in the setting, already running on adrenaline from the day? If yes, what you are feeling may be real activation that has found a convenient address. Then ask a second question, over time, rather than in the moment. How does my nervous system feel in their presence, not in anticipation of them? Anticipation activates. Presence can either settle or sustain the alarm. If you are consistently more activated by thinking about them than by actually being with them, that asymmetry is information. This is what misattribution of arousal gives you as a tool, not a reason to distrust every feeling. A reason to ask which part of the feeling is about them and which part is about you. That distinction is available to you. You just needed the mechanism to look for it. Right now, your nervous system is labeling something. It has been doing this your entire life. Every time you felt that unmistakable pull towards someone and called it chemistry. Every time calm felt like absence. Every time the alarm felt like arrival. You were not wrong to feel it. The feeling was real. The body was doing exactly what it is built to do: generate arousal and reach for an explanation. What changes now is that you have a name for the reach. You know that the label and the sensation are two separate events, and the gap between them is where your actual discernment lives. That is misattribution of arousal, and now you know where it operates in you. The question this opens is deeper. If we misread the signals in attraction, what other signals are we mislabeling in our daily lives? The body is sending data constantly. That is the next layer. Follow harmonic abundance. The signal your body sends is one of many you can learn to read accurately.